Hi, my name is Phil Monroe. I'm a psychologist and the director of Trauma Healing Institute at American Bible Society. It's my pleasure to bring a spotlight on some recent research conducted for us by Baylor University, a randomized control trial looking at a unique faith and mental health program with members who are incarcerated in prisons and jails. Now, we're here today to talk about childhood sexual abuse and prevention of that, especially in faith communities. But of course, there are a large number of people who are already victims and now adults. And so we want to also consider how to help them heal. One study I saw recently, 2005, done by the University of Texas, showed such a high incidence of childhood sexual abuse among prison and jail population, 59%, and the average age was 9.5. And of course, you know, when people have experienced such abuse and trauma in their lives, it often raises not only the mental and physical side effects, but also spiritual struggles, challenges. Where is God? What do I believe? Do I matter? This is a huge problem. Of course, when we begin to think about how to help people who are suffering from child sexual abuse and some of these physical, emotional, and spiritual effects, we often think about mental health interventions, right? And we often think about faith interventions. And while these two are usually distinct, they have some overlap, right? They both offer community and healthy coping skills and comfort and potential for hope. But you know, most people don't differentiate between their spiritual lives and their emotional lives. They see themselves as one, as they are. And so what if there could be a program that could bring these components together into one? So let me tell you a little bit about that program that we used in this research protocol. Trauma healing, or healing the wounds of trauma, is a program that is used around the world, translated into 142 languages, contextualized for children, teens, adults. It brings together the best of mental health basic practices along with faith and the Bible, and engaging those two things together in conversation. These are not preaching and teaching and Bible studies per se, but they are discovery opportunities where people are facilitating conversations where there are no right answers, and people can bring their pain and ask the big, deepest questions. Where was God in my trauma? It's a program that is a train-the-trainer model, so it can be self-sustaining and replicating. And we have some basic research on how this doesn't just help the individuals who go through the program, but also helps with the community and brings change to the community. So with that, let's talk about the setting where we had this research. So it was a jail in Virginia, and the intervention lasted 5 days, or about 1 week, and each session of those 5 sessions were about 2 hours long. It was a randomized control trial, 349 inmates divided between the intervention group and the control group. These healing groups were led by chaplains who were trained by Good News Jail and Prison Ministry, or trained by us and are employed by Good News. So, big question. What did we find? Well, just over this short intervention of 5 days, we saw a dramatic decrease in trauma symptoms, a decrease in some of the key trauma symptoms that are shown on trauma scales. Not only did we see that decrease, but we saw an increase of positive emotional health, a decrease in vengefulness, an increase in willingness to forgive, positive interactions with the Bible, and attitudes towards God. So a short intervention like this, will the positive results continue? And in fact, actually, with 3 more assessments post-intervention immediately, and then 2 more times over the next 3 months, we found that these positive effects continued. Again, same decrease in trauma symptoms compared to the control group, and decrease of negative emotions. Again, that increased forgiveness, decreased desire to seek vengeance, closeness to God. And these impacts did not wane. They continued at the same rate. While we are really excited to see the positive effect on the inmates and are amazed by it, we also are really excited about the potential for growth and scale. You know, any intervention that we do, whether it is a faith intervention, a mental health intervention, we want to know, what does it cost? Can it grow and scale, especially in places where resources are limited? So what did we find? Well, we trained 250 volunteers, and now the good news, jails and prison ministries is self-sustaining. They have their own trainers and facilitating that. There's no additional cost to us. They were able, before the pandemic closed things down and made it a lot difficult, to bring 2,600 inmates through this, and they're continuing as they can. The facilitators are in 29 different states. The initial cost to us was about $148 per inmate. That's a ridiculously low cost for this kind of effect. And of course, that cost is actually driving lower and lower because as you do more and more groups, it really doesn't cost much at all to continue that. So we're warm, we're excited about this, we're looking to see about scaling it. And Dr. Byron Johnson, who was the lead in this research, his team, said no other known intervention, and he's been doing this for a long time, accomplishes so much good for highly traumatized jail inmates in such a short period of time. Interestingly, jail inmates are often the least researched and provided interventions for, because it's a bit more of a revolving door compared to prison, where people are staying for longer periods of time. Well, if you would like to read the full report and look at all of the data and take a deep dive into all of the appendices, it will be there. It's more than 100 pages. Go to BaylorPrisonStudy.research.bible. That's BaylorPrisonStudy.research.bible, and get that free download. And if you'd like to know more about Trauma Healing Institute, you can certainly come and visit our site at traumahealinginstitute.org. And if you're looking for conversation starters with your friends, family, colleagues to understand the issue of trauma and its implications in a person's whole life, and you want to see little basic helps for how can we be safe listeners and what kinds of questions can we ask to be a good ally and support to people who are suffering, go to traumahealingbasics.org.